You're watching Force 13's live streaming service.
Hello and welcome to Force 13 Live. We've had to come live urgently as Typhoon Kajiki is strengthening as it's ready to impact China and Vietnam later on in its life. I believe there are orange typhoon warnings for Hainan Island and the Paracel Islands. I think that's all I've been told about the warnings so far. I've got with me Nick, Kin, Kathy and Trin with me right now, and I'll just switch over to them, and then once we've heard from them I can show the JTWC's cone. Yeah, actually let's show the JTWC's cone actually right now and hear what they think about it while I show it. Guys, do you have anything to say about the storm and the JTWC cone, or anything you want to reveal to the stream?
I haven't even looked at it. I need to look at it. Hold on.
I think they are at 50 knots on Twipset, which is kind of underestimating about the storm now. It's probably a typhoon or near typhoon status, already 60 to 65 knots.
Yeah, you can see the JTWC there are forecasting it to keep intensifying even after impacting or brushing close by to Hainan Island. It doesn't look like they're actually predicting a direct landfall, but that could happen anyway, because it's quite close. It'll be quite close. 75 knots they're predicting out of the storm, which I think, Kathy, you were saying earlier it was 70 knots already, weren't you? Would you like to walk us through that quickly?
Yeah, so sure thing it is. Well, you see, in recent hours, it has been organizing really well. She is decreasing. CDO is forming. And cut to the radar for me, please.
The radar, yes, I can. Let me just go ahead and grab the radar for you.
So when you see the radar, you can see a massive vortex is surrounding from the eye. That's where in the infrared you see the huge burst that's associated with that vortex. And that vortex is surrounding well, and it recently has already built a pretty nascent eye wall here, and a decent overcast that the center has been well covered right now with velocity data showing more than 35 meters per second winds with 20 to 30 degree angle, because what it's doing with radial velocity is showing the radial velocity, right? That is tangential component. So after analysis with the circulation, we depict that the maximum wind at 2.5 kilometers height was around 40 meters per second after adjustment, and would become 70 knots from surface, which, yeah, it become a typhoon right now, and probably it's gonna rapidly intensify in the next 12 to 24 hours. So I probably will see a more severe typhoon in the next hours. Yeah,
yep.
Pretty much that.
Thank you for that. I'm just being held up right now by the internet, but I'm finally able to add on the radar. This is the only radar we've got on the Force 13 website. If it could load, that would be wonderful. Well, it's supposed to show the radar, but it's not showing right now for some reason. Just a moment. Let's see if I can try and get it again. Sorry about this, everyone. We can take in some comments and questions if you want to at us at Force 13, all in text in the chat. We will reply to your question about the storm as soon as we can, as soon as we see your comment about the storm. And I'll be checking in back and forth at the live stream comments, and I don't know if anyone else will. Nick, have you checked on the storm? And then once we've heard from you, I'd like to hear from Kinnan. I know we've heard from Trin already, but we could hear again. But Nick, have you had a look at the storm yet? Just a moment.
Well, I can get some input on Vietnamese stuff. I can share my screen.
Go ahead. I want to answer this
Uh,
question just quickly from Hurricane Alton Iran. Currently, we're just going to go with 75 knots. The analysis that Kathy's given us earlier today. It seems good enough, to be fair, for the storm right now. It's going to be going through some rapid intensification very soon, and I'd be surprised if it doesn't get to 75 knots, 70 knots by long, so 70 knots. Go ahead, Nick.
if you're looking, that's Trin.
Just a moment. Let me...
Oh, you might want to give Kenyon the green roll.
Give who?
Kin.
Oh,
He's unable to do stuff.
okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
There we
I
go.
want to share the warnings on the China side. So
On the
here we
China side.
go.
We'll get to that in just a
I'll
moment.
do this before, like, I'll probably like show the Vietnamese stuff before you can do that.
Okay. Go ahead.
But basically, Vietnam has been tracking it as well. At the moment, they're going with, well, this was, I believe, wait, it's 5 p.m. That means, yeah, about 3 hours ago. So it's a bit outdated. And I think they went like 50 knots ish. I don't quite know what the conversion of Vietnam is, but it should be somewhere around that. And they're looking for peak of, let me try and just convert that real quick. If this is correct, only about 70 knots, which I don't believe is correct.
Well, the storm is intensifying.
However,
Now.
what they do have in place is a storm surge warning, which is between the provinces of Nghệ An and northern Quảng and basically any area between Nghệ An and Quảng Trị will have the highest storm surge, which they predict to be about 0.5 meters up until 1.2 meters. But as well, I mean, they also put in Ninh Bình and Thanh Hóa, which I don't quite know. So this is supposedly the water levels, the normal water levels, if that's how I read it correctly. But so I don't think this is really a forecast, but just really saying that how the water levels are at the moment.
Yeah, and they'll probably start to.
But generally, you can say that there's going to be about 0.5 to 1.2 meters of storm surge, according to NCNJMF.
Okay. Well, the storm is quite.
And so the storm at the moment, I just put down a few locations in here. We have about 421 kilometers away from Sanya. We got about 567 kilometers from Da Nang. We have it about 798 kilometers from Hà Tĩnh. We have 825 kilometers from Vinh and 846 kilometers from Thanh Hóa, as well as 1,140 kilometers from Vientiane in Lao.
Okay.
So just to give you like an overview of,
and that is quite helpful actually,
of where it is at the moment.
Yeah, thanks. Because the storm is forecast to move inland and probably cause a lot of rain for Thailand and Laos.
Definitely.
Vietnam as well, but
I mean, this has happened before, especially with these.
Vipa?
I think it was.
Yeah.
So especially that's when Laos had a lot of rainfall.
Yeah, but Vipa was more north, so this probably would, depending on if the JTWC are correct with their cone, this one's further north, so if you have a look, that's going to go straight through the centre of Laos, and also looks like it's going to go through some of Thailand as well, and that could cause landslides in turn, which it has done in storms similar in the past. So we'll keep a close eye out on all these nations that are inside of this cone. But first up is China, and it's getting quite close to Hainan right now. I think those islands that it is passing just nearby to are called the Paracel Islands. They're in orange typhoon warnings right now. And hello, does anyone else want to talk? Because I think I heard a Biling.
I think that was Ken.
Yeah.
Shall
Are you sharing my screen right now?
I can head onto your screen. Just a second. There we are. I should be on your screen right now. I see the warnings.
Yes, thank you. So,
Yeah.
as you can see, there are orange typhoon warnings in effect for the Hainan Island and the Paracel Islands as of 4:35 in China time, and also blue typhoon warnings up north of Hainan in the
Yes.
Guangdong region. And this is the radar that Kathy is talking about.
Ah,
You
there
can
you
see some sort of eye wall forming around the storm right now, and
Starting to
so
get together.
yeah,
Now, something to bear in mind is the storm is sheared, but it is starting to get together pretty well. I can see on that radar, so that's with the storm, but not. Does anyone else have anything else to share before I go ahead and read out some more comments, and then I'm gonna see if I can get the JMAs going up. I might actually ask one of you to.
We have a new update from Vietnam.
We've got a new update from Vietnam.
I have to read that real quick. Yep.
That was pretty quick. Go ahead.
Well, I would say the storm is intensifying pretty fast than what we expected.
Peak is still staying the same, apparently,
Right
as well as the current wind speed, which is confusing. Oh, that's the wrong one. Nope, staying the same. What the hell?
Staying the same.
Are
Are you sure they've updated it?
This is the newest one.
Okay.
It is 8 p.m., which it was 15 minutes ago. Tác động của bão gió mạnh, sóng lớn, nước dâng.
Well, while you're reading through that, I'll just go ahead and collect some questions real quick, because I know there must have been a few yet. Let's see. Is Tropical Depression 19 a typhoon already? I would not go with typhoon. Is Tropical Depression 19 a typhoon already? I would not. I'll just go ahead and because I know there must have been. I think what just happened there? That was weird. Sorry about that. I have no idea what just happened there.
Wait, was the sound going through?
Yeah, the sound was coming through your screen, I think.
Oops. Turn it off.
Sorry. Is 19 a typhoon already from Typhoon Namikaze? It's not a typhoon. 19. I don't know if it's tropical storm, but it's not a typhoon. So, we won't be going too far on that storm either. But I know there is a storm that's heading towards the Philippines inside of the PAR right now. I think that's Inverse 93W that Hurricane Alton and Ron's just mentioning. How about Inverse 93W? Will that be a tropical storm or a typhoon? Well, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure Kathy's ruled it as a tropical storm already. But I am not sure yet. I have not had a look.
It has a pretty high. Hello.
Hello?
It has a pretty high formation. Hello.
Yeah, we
hear me?
It's all good.
Yeah. High formation chance for 93W in the next few days. Well, we're pretty sure it's convective circulation and it's kind of in shape, and pretty common from the next day to probably at earliest tomorrow night. So that's gonna quite organized one, and it's gonna enter into South China Sea again, but pretty much further north than Kajiki, and gonna be some more impacts to Guangdong in the next few days. Just a few days shortly after Kajiki. Probably just 3 days, 3 to 4 days, yeah. But a quick one in South China Sea. This year has been a quite active year in South China Sea. Although the intensity wasn't that high, the quality isn't that much at all in the West Pacific, but it has been pretty active in the South China Sea. We've seen quite many systems forming quite west of the basin, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure about that storm, but I'll take your word for it because it does seem, when I looked at it on satellite, it seemed quite broad, and that doesn't mean it's going to strengthen easily, but it does mean it could collect itself together quite quickly. If I could ask one of you guys, who's got their stream up currently? Nick, is that you with your stream up? Yes.
Mm-hmm. I still have it up.
Right, do you want to go more on the Vietnamese stuff and then you can check the JMA?
Well, the only thing that I'm seeing is basically this is a forecast. This whole entire table is a forecast, including disaster risks, but these aren't warnings. Hence, I wouldn't really want to work with these at the moment. And for the rest, it's really just like strong storm forecast, strong wind forecast. We got a rain forecast in here, which I can try and read again, but
If
I
the storm
believe it shouldn't be.
continues to intensify, which it might do, it's looking like it is strengthening quite steadily now. It could then go on to also cause more winds. If I'm looking at hold on a minute, the water vapor there, it looks like it's trying to push out an eye. Hang on a moment.
I would believe it's more of a CDO that's currently being developed. I wouldn't say it's just. Wouldn't call it too early, but then again, I would probably like ask Kathy for.
But
she's definitely.
The CDO is developing, yeah. But it looks like it is trying to get out a visible eye. Trying. But yeah, if the storm does continue to intensify, I don't know if people can see what I'm talking about on the water vapor, by the way. Then it won't be just the rain that'll do, of course. It'll be more so on both sides of things. But currently, the main issue for the storm, the main focus is the rain, and especially when it passes through these big cities coming up with lots of mountainous terrain nearby, with saturated land, then that obviously, as we mentioned earlier, could cause landslides, which it has done before with storms, and it will probably happen again. And that's the thing that people have got to be careful of. Nick, are you going to go through the JMA's cone? If you perhaps can get it up. Thank you, Nick.
Was too many typos.
There we are.
Let's look at it. What kind of conversion did the JMA have again? Was it 10 minutes?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's 10 minutes.
Well, track-wise, it doesn't really differ much. If we go for Vietnam,
It looks like the JMA are
basically
definitely further north when it gets inland.
I guess it is a bit further south.
Seems.
Because as for Vietnam,
Yeah.
it is relatively close to Hainan, and not perhaps just a little bit further south. I wouldn't call it too far south though.
No. It's going to be a tough gamble on whether the storm does make landfall in southern Hainan Island. And I'm going to just pull up the JTWC there. Look, they are going very close. But it's pretty much a straight line, you can see there that they're predicting. Completely straight line. And storms like this often do make straight lines. They don't wobble that much. There you are, that's Nick's got the JTWC going up there. Is my JTWC...
I could try and just draw like overlay them on a map and just draw them.
Yeah, if you want.
Because I feel like that will give us a better, because every map is a bit different.
Yeah.
Because of the zoom that we're making.
Yeah, okay.
So I was trying my best.
If it doesn't
Do some
take
stuff
you
with
too
that.
long, I guess. If it doesn't hinder you that much, then sure. Does anyone
It
else have anything
shouldn't.
else to show or add to that? Sorry. No? Okay, we can go back here, and I want to just put up the... what the... Sorry. See if I can pull up some more imagery from the storm. The sea surface temperatures below the storm are looking pretty good for the storm. It's just got that shear that it needs to try and detach from. I'm going to get some zero imagery up on the screen in just a moment. Alright, there we are. So there's a storm rapidly developing there. You can see the coast of Hainan Island, not far from the storm at all. Nick, how far did you say Hainan was from the storm currently?
From Sanya it is about 421 kilometers.
421 kilometers. Yeah, so it's getting quite closer. And 421 kilometers in miles, by the way, is... What the? It's too many... is 262 miles. So getting very close to Hainan now. And it will hit overnight, of course. I'm just going to...
We could get an overlook on the warnings whilst I do it, if someone can provide those.
Yeah?
Does anyone have them ready or available to show?
I think Kin had them.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing the screen right now.
Oh yeah, Well, I can pull up anything if anyone wants anything to be pulled up. I'm just going to have a look and see what else there is.
Well, we can talk about the models if you want.
Yeah, we can talk about the models. Does anyone have the models ready, or I can pull them up. Just quiet. Hold on a moment, because I know Nick's working on something. I'll just pull up the models just quickly.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, let me put up one.
You want to pull them up? Warnings? Right. Let's have a look at GFS first.
Yeah, I have it right now.
You have it?
Yes.
Okay. Hopping over. Okay, we're on your screen.
Alright, so this is Kajiki, right, I think, and this is 93W. So as you can see, it makes landfall. That's a typhoon. Definitely 955 millibars. So once we go to around Tuesday, then 93W will traverse the Philippines, then goes into, I believe that is Hong Kong or China. And so this is what the GFS has for the long range. There are new two future typhoons. So they go in circular interaction, and the rest is just the fantasy range at this point.
Yeah, and then that one goes over there. But the main focus is Kajiki.
That one goes into Taiwan
Yeah.
and into China. So that's pretty much the model, the GFS model at this point.
Mm-hmm. I would like to address what analysis I'm going with. I'm going with 55 knots. Could be 60 knots. I haven't had a full-on check yet, but I'll be going with 55 knots on this storm. Not a typhoon right now, but Kathy is well within their rights to have their own analysis. But we, as a whole at Force 13, are going with 55 knots for the storm. So not quite a typhoon yet, but we'll be getting there soon. I think it was predicted to get to 75 knots at peak as it passes just south of Hainan Island on Sunday or tomorrow. Will this be Sunday or Monday? I'm pretty sure it'll be Sunday tomorrow, tomorrow evening, and Monday morning local time. And that was Kin just showing models.
Yeah, I think the JTWC has mentioned of rapid intensification happening soon. I have that discussion right there. So, reliable deterministic intensity guidance indicates moderate potential for rapid intensification with peaking from 65 to 90 knots near the 36-hour mark. So that will be around tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But the storm is ready to intensify now. And I know Nick wanted to get something up. I don't know if he's ready yet.
Still working on it.
Still working on it. We've got Kin's screen there showing those models. The model runs. Do you have any other models to show us other than GFS, like Icon?
Yeah, I can probably pull up that.
We could try the European model afterwards, but I don't know how good they are with the...
Yeah. So this is the icon model.
Yeah. So you can see Kajiki there.
Yeah.
It does continue intensifying even after passing through Hainan, so it looks like Vietnam will get quite a heavy impact from this storm.
GFS
especially in terms of
model.
rain. I think the GFS
Yeah.
is doing the same thing.
Yeah, the GFS model doesn't really have. I think this is 93W taking up that sort of track. So yeah, it will be interesting to see the next 7 days.
Yeah, it will. I know Trin's been there for a while and not said anything. Trin, are you ready to say anything? No?
No.
Okay. We've just been joined by Mori. Hello, Mori. What are your current thoughts on Typhoon Kajiki? Well, Tropical Storm Kajiki. Sorry.
Hello, so this storm is quickly developing. I've been looking at some imagery on it. You can see that there definitely is some wind shear on the northeastern side. There definitely is some impacts to the storm, especially with, you can see on the wind field. Let me pull that up.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a bit of a lopsidedness to the wind field. But with this storm, it is also expected to make a lot of rainfall for Vietnam, especially since with this lopsidedness, and it's supposed to happen very soon because most of the rain is on the western side. This storm is likely to drop lots of rainfall. Let me just pull up the exact amounts. But also, it is supposed to bring some storm surge and all of those other risks too. There is supposed to be very high waves with this storm as it enters into the Gulf of Tonkin. Specifically around up to, let me just see the measurement on this. Probably around 27 feet or so. I think this is it in feet. So that definitely would cause some major beach erosion and probably some problems across the shore. I think this storm does have the potential to cause major issues right along the coast and also some major rainfall issues.
And this is the Gulf of Tonkin we're talking about. Quite a small space for when storms go through. It starts to rough up the waves, and that causes a spanner in the works for all sorts of reasons that Maury has mentioned some of there. Maury's showing us microwave imagery there. Go ahead, Maury, if you want to say anything more.
Yeah, so the microwave imagery, you can see a few cloud tops coming off of the storm. It's a little hard to see the center, but you can see that there is some energy being shown in the center. This only goes out to like a few hours ago. I'm not sure if there's a newer version, but this storm, as it approaches Hainan, does seem like it's gaining some very good cloud tops.
Yeah, that should work for now. It looks like the storm center, as you said earlier, it is very sheared on its northeastern side, and now we're starting to see that a lot more with that microwave imagery.
Yeah, it's definitely due to the wind shear. If you look at the wind shear in this area,
yeah,
you can see there is quite a bit on the northeastern side. Let me zoom in here. There's the storm. It's going to continue for the rest of its life, basically. Quite a bit of shear, although it will weaken once it moves inland, but it still exists at the moment, and it's coming from this, probably from another low pressure that's existing near in the Philippine Sea too, partially due to that.
I believe that actually might be 19W. What?
I think that is, yeah, like right here. It's just hard to tell because of this. If you look at the height and wind, then you can see what this actually develops. I don't know if it is actually, because you can see this low pressure doesn't really have an organized center until later on. That might be an invest. Well, not an invest. Well, yeah. And then there's this other storm that develops near Guangdong.
Well, yeah, that was the one that Kim was talking about earlier on. And I don't know if anyone else has any thoughts about what the microwave that Maury was just showing us. But I'm going to update this image a little bit. But that's quite good there. Showing us a storm center.
Yeah, it has been battling. Yeah, it's been battling shear for a while now, ever since it came off the Philippines.
That might give a limit to how strong the storm can get.
And when you mentioned on the northeastern side, the storm's northern side, because the storm's quite large, once the storm goes over, goes past Hainan Island or over Hainan Island, that will give the northern side quite a beating. So it'll be probably mainly the southern side that packs the most winds by the time it gets to Vietnam.
Yeah, and that would probably be the same issue with rainfall too. It does seem like most of it is going to go south of the capital, Hanoi.
Yeah, absolutely. And the northern side probably will become a little bit scattered. So there will be quite a bit of rainfall on the northern side, to be fair. But it will probably become a little bit more scattered.
Yeah, just less winds.
Yes.
Even though it seemed like...
southern side, and you can see there. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it did seem like the wave height Where's that? Let me just find the wave height. Yeah, it seemed like the wave height, it was still fairly strong on all sides. You can see a little bit on the northern side too, for the wave heights. So, I mean, I think that's just because like there's a lot of pressure in the center and there is some winds right above the center, right north of the center, but it just doesn't extend very far out. You can see those waves go a little bit north of the center.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to.
Alright, I think I should be able to show the comparison.
Oh, that was fairly quick. I'll hop on over to your screen then, I guess. Uh-huh. Oh, okay, you've got all sorts of models there. So that they're all pretty much in agreement there, it looks like, Nick. Go ahead, walk us through.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So what's interesting to see is that Vietnam is actually the closest towards Hainan. Actually, no, well, it's sort of a crossing between both the JTWC, the CMA, as well as Vietnam, being very close to Hainan, whereas the HKO and JMA have it dipping pretty far south. So there's a lot of, obviously in like the earlier points, there's a lot of agreements in there, but as soon as it gets toward the coast, that's where the whole where it really spreads. So anywhere between, like, I believe is Hà Tĩnh and then Dong Hoi is where there could be a landfall. And all the way further inland, I mean, well, it could go further north. I believe the CMA is the only one that has it going a bit further south. But yeah.
But then the CMA does take it up once it goes inland there.
It does.
That's not that relevant on the storm size, because if you look at these models and then look at the storm size, they pretty much are pretty close, almost at agreement. That's pretty interesting, quite interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's probably going to dump a lot of rain for, or is going to dump a lot of rain for those areas in Indochina that it's going to hit. Questions? That I understand.
I'll just reload, see if there's anything.
But someone is copying apparently. I'm not sure what it means, but go ahead, Nick. Were you gonna?
I was just gonna refresh the YouTube page to see if there's anything, but I don't see anything.
I'm gonna hop on back over to this Z imagery that is there. Now, I don't know. We haven't heard much from people talking about the imagery of the storm. Now, I was saying like that the actions started to really start pushing there, and I know Kathy was talking quite a bit about the satellite imagery area, and I think Nick was as well, if I can remember. But if anyone wants to talk about this imagery, you can go ahead now. I've got it up on the screen. But just as a reminder, there are orange typhoon warnings for Hainan and Marshall Islands, and there are blue typhoon warnings, wasn't it, for, I think Kin was showing us, and Zhejiang. I think that was what it was.
Yeah.
Is that right? Hello?
I've just been looking for the radar at this past few minutes, and it seems that the core is really getting into the range of the radiation, and it's becoming more defined.
It does seem like it, yes. I'm sorry, Kathy. I know Kathy's not here anymore, but I don't know if they're listening. I won't be going for Typhoon at this hour. I'll be going with 55 knots, and I think Ethan is at agreement with me as well. just checked now. So we'll be going with 55 knots, just as a reminder to everyone. Does anyone have anything to say about this current satellite imagery? I know, like, Maury's spoken quite a bit about the microwave, but Maury, have you got anything to say about it, the storm satellite? Perhaps.
So there's this one cloud top that I'm noticing that is to the southeast of Hainan Island. If you play the animation, it sort of appeared. There was also a lot of cloud tops on the northwestern side, but I think maybe the shear is possibly getting to that as well. But I am seeing that the storm is beginning to basically expand in terms of its wind field, and also expand in terms of the clouds coming out from its center. I do think the storm is showing some indications of more rapid intensification, but I don't think the storm will have much time. As you can see, it's about to make landfall, or in the next day or so it will make landfall.
Yeah, I believe it's predicted.
Well, it has.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it still has about 12 hours from landfall, so and it go. So
What was that? Can you cut out slightly there? I don't know if we heard that a little bit.
yeah. I was talking about it being 12 hours from landfall.
Yes, that is. I can hear that. That's what it's looking at, like, on the visible satellite. Obviously, sun's going down there. It's like that Mori has up. Seems like they're predicting it to go straight through the southern part of Hainan, but I'm not sure what cone this is from. I don't know.
This is, I think, their own cone.
Their own cone.
Yeah, it looks like their own cone.
I would think it's their own because like none of the things that I listed like matches.
I think it's actually the JTWC cone because they use data from there.
Let me see. Here's the cone that they have. It's a little bit south of what they were shown. Yeah. Is this cone new? Like, how new is this?
Well, we've already had a look.
Well, it's not.
It's not too new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it looks like there is an updated cone. I don't know if we already looked at this, but it actually is showing a landfall in Hainan Island now.
It is now. From JTWC, that does look updated. Oh, they're predicting it to make it 75 knots earlier than what was expected. Is that what that says?
Yeah, 75 knots on the 24th at 12 C. So, probably tomorrow evening, local time.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm gonna move on back over there.
Wait, huh?
By the way, people, just in case you didn't know already, you can send comments in the chat, asking us questions at Force13 all in text, and we'll reply to your questions and answer them as soon as possible. The stream's lasting until the end of the hour. We're going until 14Z this evening.
Speaking of which, I'm looking at the JTWC. I don't know if this is an image or like an error. It's like they're saying issued at the 23rd at 15Z, which it isn't even 15Z yet.
Hmm.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Does anyone
imagery that
else
you're
see
showing.
this?
I
Yeah, but hold on. Let me just switch over. It's like the one. So this thing that I have over here, this is still like 9Z. If I refresh right now, refresh this as well, it will update. However, it shows 15Z.
15Z. Oh,
But I think we all know that at the moment it's only 1349Z, which,
yeah.
huh?
No, I'm not sure why that is. But I don't know if that's
Bit
just
of
how
an
they
early
make
stretch.
them. I haven't paid too much attention to the storm ever since it's been named because I've been asleep. But it has
Oh days.
it has intensified pretty quickly since I've been awake. And Nick's showing very interesting satellite imagery right there. That is some good satellite.
It is.
But you can see that what I mean by the it looks like an eye feature is starting to try and poke out there.
Well, I guess what you're referring to is like basically the hot. I wouldn't call it hot towers. Maybe hot towers. Trying to wrap around a center.
Yeah, and it's making
We
a
could
hole.
we could try to look at something else.
Go ahead.
If it oh damn. Oops. Hold up.
Oh my god,
This is not good.
what the-
Wrong mode.
It looks like those hot towers you were talking about, though, have since dissipated slightly.
Yeah.
Because they briefly went above -90 cloud tops, but they seem to have dissipated since then, although others are trying to get started.
Yeah.
Like you definitely have a new line starting over here, but I wouldn't understand why because the center is like pretty much over here-ish.
That's probably got something to do with the shear and the storm trying to recover from that.
It might.
That should be fine. I won't worry about that line. Does anyone else have anything to say? I'm going to read through comments and questions. There's no comments and questions. Okay.
So, I think also what you were talking about with that line, it is also bringing some rainfall to Hainan Island right now. So that probably is the beginning of some rainfall.
Barely.
Yeah, there was a rain band that was weakening as it approached Hainan Island. So it's probably bringing some rainfall, but no winds likely.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
If you are watching from Hainan,
there's an I think there's a we have an issue with the satellite. You see how the mesoscale is moving further towards the west? The borders don't move with it though, so this is it's a bit misleading.
Oh. Yeah.
And look, the border same.
The one I'm showing right now.
I'm right now showing imagery that the borders are moving. But yeah, if you are watching Hainan right now, you can see the outer rain bands right there. I just don't have the radar up anymore. But I could go ahead and grab it.
I could try and get that.
You can get that?
I'll try.
Okay. while Nick is trying to have a look for the radar, I'm going to just remind people orange typhoon warnings are in place for Hainan Island and the Paracel Islands, and you've got blue typhoon warnings also in place up in Zhanjiang and Guangdong province, like Kim was telling us about earlier. I think it does stretch slightly further as well, like had quite a large area of blue typhoon warnings. I'm not quite sure why it was stretched so far north. I'm not sure if that's just the way that CMA issue their warnings, like province by province. But those are the current watches and warnings. Well, just warnings. And I don't think Vietnam have any watches or warnings. I don't know if that's changed, but I don't think they do. We'll be finishing up in 5 minutes, but Nick has got the radar up, so I'm going to let Nick go through that, and then I'll say a bit on it. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, yeah, that Rayman is still definitely going for Hainan. Because now we don't have the weird warping of the mesoscale imagery.
Yes.
You can obviously see the storm starting to move into the area of the Paracel Islands radar.
That rain band does look like it is really starting to develop as well. It's just a question if it will sustain its development up until Hainan Island.
Sort of. Let me try doing this. Just trying to look for a radar that would fit well.
It's Hainan, Nick.
No, oh, there it is.
Ah,
I was somehow
And
why is it not playing? Oh, there it is.
click the Sansha region in the city region.
Yep.
No, the Sansha one, not the Sanya.
Oh, sunshine. Sorry.
well, there we are, closer look.
We definitely have a radar expert among us, and that is Ken.
Yeah.
Like, he knows anything about radars.
Okay, but here we go. Eyesight, like the storm center, CDO is starting to wrap well. I wonder if the storm will get an eye. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, as Maury was mentioning, southern side much better than the northern side of the storm. What's going on now?
Oh god. Never mind. We're not doing that. If anything, I'll do this. This should be better.
Skibbity Rizzler Sigma Alpha Wolf asks, is it rapidly intensifying? I wouldn't say it's rapidly intensifying, but it's really it's starting to intensify. As I put strengthens on the title there. Look, I heard someone on mute. I think it was Maury. Maury, did you want to say anything there? As we'll be finishing up in a few minutes.
There's one thing. I'm looking at this website. I'm unsure. It says red alert for tropical cyclone. Is that just something with the warning system of this website, or is that actually warnings issued for Vietnam?
I'm not sure if it is. Nick will check. But when we checked, there were no warnings.
It says red alert.
I think that's just the website doing that warning.
Yeah, because it also wouldn't make a lot of sense because it isn't really showing like the borders of the regions.
Yeah, no, that should just be like a warning region.
Yeah. I was just making sure.
Warnings aren't unless like if you could try click on it, I think there was like one part where it says like more details of some sort.
Yeah, here. It doesn't look like there's additional warnings though. Because you can see there's additional warnings on Hainan Island. You can't see any on Vietnam.
Can you try clicking on the source? See what it says.
Source?
There's a source like just barely above the map.
This.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's not from the government, but from another organization that.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be quite
Well, it's
serious about this, and
something.
I probably would warn Vietnam slightly about this storm. Well, very
Surely.
certainly. Because
I could try checking again if there's anything new.
you could. I doubt there
Just
will be
gotta
though. But you can.
reload.
But and even Laos and parts of northeastern Thailand.
Oi,
There would be heavy rain there. Could cause landslides. We've got to be quick now. We'll be ending up soon. But if anyone has any final comments and questions to ask us, send them in now. We'll answer them, but we'll be finishing up just now in a moment. Nick's just trying to get something up. A little bit of struggle there, it looks like.
No. Uh-huh. We'll try a secondary website because sometimes the website just glitch. Oh. What is happening? Hey.
What's going on?
I think the website's having issues. Trying sang cái này đi. Lo cái này được không? Được. Còn cái này thì không. Hả? Trying xem nào.
Seems to be having
Mở
a
đi.
little bit of
Ôi
problems.
giời. Thời tiết phục. No, that's not it.
It should be fine now. I don't think they would have issued any warnings that fast. It should say. Will it not say?
Well, I
on
mean,
that
the tile
article?
itself. It's a forecast
Oh,
for
actually-
heavy rain in the northeastern regions.
Yes, Maury?
Is this something with the website again? Because it says a green flood alert in Vietnam in the northeast.
Paul.
There's a
It
green
should
flood alert.
should be official because it might be the thing that I'm currently reading.
Yeah, that's
right now.
north. That's for. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct. Langson.
Langson.
Yeah, Langson.
Well, if I could read this, it would be pretty cool. But I cannot.
So it looks like there's rainfall warnings, but like it doesn't seem like there's warnings for the specific typhoon, just for like maybe a flood.
I don't want to
Yeah,
push
it
too
doesn't
far
seem
out
related
right now.
to Typhoon. Kajiki.
I think it's a general warning though.
It might
Yeah,
be.
it's not specifically related to the
That
Kajiki.
one to the southwest could be.
It probably is. I'm not saying these aren't believed because Kajiki. It's just they're not like mentioning it in the flood warning, probably, because it's probably just a flood alert for like a river or something. It's not necessarily an official typhoon warning.
I don't know how the Vietnamese government are with their warnings, but I would definitely expect a warning from them soon if they were quite proactive. We'll have to be ending our stream up there. Thank you for everyone for joining. I'm just gonna check if there's been any questions since then. It doesn't seem like there has been. But thank you everyone for joining. We've covered as best we can this emergency update on Kajiki, and we'll see you next time.